Welcome to another video. My name's Celia and I help people release their potential. If you're struggling with visualization and you're not manifesting the things you want to in your life and you're trying these visualization techniques and they're just not working, keep watching this video right to the end because I'm going to show you some tips which I think will really help you. Number one is clarity. So you need to be very clear on what it is you want to achieve. If you don't know what you want, it's going to be very difficult to get a clear picture in your mind. Put it this way, if you're a taxi driver and somebody got into your taxi and gave you some directions, then kind of every 5-10 minutes they kept changing the destination. If the destination keeps changing, it gets very confusing. I mean, you're going to be confused, but so is the universe. You need to have very clear intention of what you want. The best thing to do is actually write something down rather than typing it. Physically writing takes a bit more time and concentration, so you're more likely to retain what it is you're writing in your mind. Number two is focus. You need to learn how to focus. If you're struggling to get a picture in your mind, then you're not able to focus on it clearly. So go back to clarity, go back to number one, clarify exactly what it is you want. You can't focus on something if you don't have a clear picture of what it is. Say you want to create a fire using a magnifying glass in the sun. If you keep moving the magnifying glass around, the sun is not going to be powerful enough to create a fire. And it's exactly the same with our thoughts. Our thoughts need to be very clear, they need to be focused. And this is where meditation is really good, because meditation is all about concentration and being focused. The more you meditate, the easier you'll find it to visualize. If you've not been visualizing all your life and you're suddenly starting to visualize the dreams that you want to bring those into being, it is going to take some practice because you're intentionally visualizing. It's about intentionally putting those images in your mind and to hold those images in your mind really for as long as you can in order for those things to be mirrored into the physical world. This is what happens all the time. All those subconscious thoughts and beliefs that we have are being mirrored out into the physical world. That's why we need to intentionally choose those thoughts that we want to create into the world. I want to read something from this little book called The Invisible Power. Never forget that every physical thing, whether for you or against you, was a sustained thought before it was a thing. Therefore, the thoughts you dwell upon become the things you possess or do not possess. Ooh, I read that without my glasses. Maybe I need to start visualizing that I don't need to wear these anymore. Although I kind of quite like wearing glasses sometimes. Once we have clear intention and once we have focus, the third thing is negative thoughts. If you have a negative thought, a thought that's contrary to the vision that you want to achieve in your life, then you need to make sure you don't dwell on those negative thoughts. It's fine to have that thought come into your mind, but you mustn't dwell on that thought. Because if you dwell on that thought, you'll be building a picture and visualizing about the negative stuff, and that's going to completely counteract all the work you've done in intentionally visualizing what you want. So a good way to stop your mind drifting is have on your phone, which you keep on you most of the time, I would imagine, a list of those things that you're visualizing. If you've got a vision board, take a photo of it and put it on your lock screen so you can see that, so you keep coming back to that and think, oh, okay, and get that back into your mind. So the next point is to be consistent. So make sure that every morning and every evening, if you've got time throughout the day, keep thinking over those visions, think over those pictures, get excited, think about those things that you want to manifest into your life. First thing in the morning as you're just waking up and late at night just before you're going to sleep are the best times to visualize because your mind is less cluttered with thoughts and you're in a more relaxed state. The next point is so important. I can't stress enough how important this point is. You've got to change your environment to fall in line with what your vision is. You want to make sure that you're not exposing yourself to reality if it is contrary to what you want. This isn't always going to be easy. Say if you live in a pokey flat and you want to live in a big house in the countryside, well, how are you going to change that environment? But what you can do is print off pictures of houses in the countryside, pin those up around the flat. So you're seeing those pictures of the house that you want to live in. If you've got 20 quid in your bank account and you want 20,000 quid, then stop looking at your bank account. Because if you keep looking at your bank account and seeing £20, you're seeing that image. That's the picture you're holding in your mind. You're seeing that £20. It's very clear you've got 20 quid in your bank account. And then you're trying to visualise that you've got £20,000. It's contradicting. That's why we keep getting stuck in our current circumstances. We're seeing what we're living, then we're living what we're seeing. You need to feel like you've got 20 grand in your bank. So get hold of one of your bank statements, use Photoshop or something like that to change the 20 quid to £20,000. Stick it on your phone so you keep seeing 20 grand. I've got 20 grand. I've got 20 grand. That's what I mean by changing your environment. The next point is don't force it. You cannot force your subconscious mind. We need to be in a relaxed state when we're visualizing. We need to make sure we're not trying to control things or force things. things. There's a good book, Power versus Force, by Dr. David Hawkins. And in this book, he talks about force, and when we try and force things, that ultimately they don't really happen when we try and force. So we don't need to be forcing our dreams. Another great book that he's done is Letting Go, and it's about letting go of the outcome. It does all sound contradicting, doesn't it? Because you have a vision, you want this is the outcome that you want, and then you've got to let go of it. But I think that's everything in life. Like when you're in a relationship with somebody, if you're like, oh, I don't want to lose them, you're going to lose them. Love is letting go. Love is letting be. In that book, David Hawkins talks about how by letting go of your dreams, they materialize more quickly, which kind of falls in line with power versus force, because you're not trying to force something, but you're allowing the universal powers to take over and manifest those things. And it's working with the universal laws. Another reason why visualization may not be working is that you're seeing it in the future. You know, I want a car, I want to be a millionaire, I want this house, I want that relationship, but you're seeing it in the future. I want something. You need to visualize as if you have it now, because now is the only time. Let me read something from Lester Levinson's book, Happiness is Free. One of the grossest errors we make is to try to create in the future, I will have this, I will get that. When we do that, it keeps it in the future all the time, thereby keeping it away. This is the greatest stumbling block for most people. When you create something, it has to be seen in present time, in its isness, now. It is mine now. Because remember, there's no time. The future is an illusion, the past is an illusion. The past happened when it was now in the past, and the future keeps moving away from you. So you don't want to visualize something in the future because it'll keep moving away from you. So imagine as if it is now, as if you've got it now. That's why you can be thankful and grateful. And if you haven't seen my video on visualization techniques, I'll put the link there. My next point is giving up too soon. It's so easy to get distracted, and it's so easy to give up and think, well, this isn't working, I'm not going to do this anymore. You need to use your willpower. You see, when you will for something to happen, it will happen. Our willpower is like a sixth sense, and ideas will come to your mind in relation to whatever that thing is you want. You still need to will for it to happen. Where there's a will, there's a way. Don't give up too soon. Once you start intentionally visualizing and you see those things manifest into your life, it's awesome. It is the most amazing thing. And you'll just want to tell everyone about it, which is kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing. Another point is being attached to a particular timing. With all these things, it's important to be specific. So it is good to put a time, but hold that date loosely and trust the universe. We won't always know the gestation period of a dream. It is like a seed that you're planting, so you need to allow it to grow and know that God's timing is perfect. Finally, it's not about thinking something and then sitting down and eating a sandwich and not doing anything. Manifesting your dreams is working in harmony with universal powers. What happens is we'll start seeing opportunities. Ideas will come to our mind. Intuitively, we'll feel we need to move in a certain direction. And all these things will happen in order for the dream to be manifested. It's like Jim Carrey's story. You know, he wanted to be this famous actor. He wanted to earn a particular amount of money. He wrote it down on a check, kept that in his pocket. He kept looking at it all the time. But he didn't go off and sit and eat a sandwich for the rest of his life. He started moving in the direction of acting because that was his dream. And opportunities came up and arose. And those opportunities were in line with his dream. And that check that he kept looking at in his pocket, he received that amount of money. And I think it was for his first film. But what he used to do, he used to go down to Mulholland Drive, and when it was dark in the evening, he would imagine that all these directors were after him and wanted him to act in their plays. And he said when he got in his car to drive home, he felt the feeling that he'd just got a really big part in a play. And if you look at his career, that has reflected the vision that he originally had. It's an amazing story. If you haven't heard it, then look it up on Google about Jim Carrey, how he manifested his dream. So never give up on your dreams, because they will materialise. So don't doubt your dreams. I hope you found this video helpful. Please hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And if you've got any questions, then please comment below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.